Coming up, Lawrence saw a $17 million increase in visitor spending last year. See how the city hopes is working to maintain these numbers.
And stay tuned to get a look at the Lawrence Police Department's new furry friend.
Live from the studio in Stauffer Flint at the University of Kansas, you're watching KUJH News.
Welcome to the last KUJH News show of the year. I'm Sydney Clark.
And I'm Savannah Meyer. An alleged rape happened on the 400 block of 11th Street, which is near Corbin Residence Hall. The Office of Civil Rights and Title IX received a report of an alleged rape on December 5th, noting that it happened several weeks earlier. This is currently an ongoing investigation. Details will not be released at this time, but the unknown suspect is reportedly not affiliated with KU.
The Office of Civil Rights and Title IX released a timely warning to all university faculty, staff, and students. The email contained information about the alleged incident and tips for increasing safety on our near campus, including keeping your doors locked, avoiding walking alone, avoiding the use of headphones, and if you see something, say something. The email continues to say emergency phones are located around campus, commonly known as blue phones. Campus safe ride options are available, as well as KU security escorts to bring you back to your residence.
If you are in an unsafe situation, the Office of Civil Rights and Title IX urges you to not handle it yourself and to call KU Police at 911 immediately. Tourism is booming in Douglas County, and we've got the numbers to prove it. A recent found that visitor spending increased by more than $17 million between 2022 and 2023. KUJH's Cameron McFrory breaks down these findings and tells us how the city is working to keep these numbers rising.
Lawrence is so much more than just a college town, with a little something for everyone. And whether it's the fine dining that catches your eye, or the one-of-a-kind local shops, it's the destination that keeps on giving.
Whether you're a college-age student, whether you're a family, whether you're a retiree, there's something to do here in Lawrence.
$296 million. That's how much visitors spent in Douglas County in 2023.
We're here on Mass Street, and it's such an exciting place. We had a hard time finding some place to park today.
Tourism is a huge contributor to the local economy. In 2023, it supported nearly 4,000 jobs and $800,000 in tax revenues, according to a visitor spending report shared by Explore Lawrence. This organization is the heart of local tourism. What they found? Lawrence is the place to be.
I think Explore Lawrence is a leader in tourism. They are showing the world what an exciting place Lawrence is and all the great things to do.
Job travels around the state with other tourism professionals helping cities attract visitors. Most recently, they stopped into Explore Lawrence to award a $40,000 grant, money that will go to creating a mobile visitor center.
Think of your traditional brick and mortar visitor center. It is that on wheels.
It's one step being taken to make Lawrence a must visit.
The whole idea is to get information into the hands of people where they are at, encouraging them to stay longer and spend more money.
Explore Lawrence is open Wednesday to Saturday 10 to 5, so stop in and you might just learn something new about what Lawrence has to offer. In downtown Lawrence for KUJH News, I'm Cameron McCrory.
Thanks, Cameron.
The building next to the Hawk that had everyone wondering what is officially open. Lindsay Ryan was more on what exactly this building is.
After months of construction, the Hawk Tavern officially had their grand opening last Thursday. With 2 stories, 2 bars, a burrito shop, and a merch shop, this might just be the new place to go on a night out. When the previous building was taken down, there were a lot of questions as to what would be put in its place. The Hawk Tavern is ran by the same management as the Jayhawk Cafe, but has several different aspects. There's 2 floors to it. There's a downstairs and an upstairs. The upstairs is called the Nest. There is also a burrito shop inside the bar. It's called Boom Boom Burrito, and that is a separate vendor. And then as well as the burrito place, we're going to have what is called the Hawk Shop on the outside, which is a spot where you can buy merchandise. The construction time was lengthy for the new bar, but they wanted to make sure it stood out from the other spots in town. It's a nicer bar than the Hawk, so they took a lot of time and dedication and craft to making this bar really special and really nice and above all the other bars at KU. With that being said, they've brought in nicer alcohol, nicer equipment, better cleaning supplies. So far, the students on campus are enjoying the new bar and the people inside.
I think my favorite part is definitely the workers. They are so nice, like so inviting, and they know you want to have a good time, so they make it such a fun atmosphere.
Open Tuesday through Saturday, this is definitely a new spot to check out. For KUJH News, I'm Lindsay Ryan.
Thanks, Lindsay. We can finally put all of those rumors to rest.
The city of Wamego is seeing a Wizard of Oz makeover. Take a look.
Holiday decorations are lighting up a local youth sports complex.
You may not hear it at first, but it's there. Our chant, rising. On this summit, callings converge, voices unify into a chorus that sounds out for good, for greatness. Can you hear it?
Welcome back. A pair of iconic ruby slippers worn by Judy Garland and the Wizard of Oz and stolen from a museum nearly 20 years ago sold for a winning bid of $28 million at an auction Saturday. Heritage Auctions estimated the shoes would sell for $3 million, but the fast-paced bidding passed the amount within seconds, tripling it within minutes.
The previous record for a piece of entertainment memorabilia was $5.52 million for the white dress worn by Marilyn Monroe on top of a subway grate. The auction also included other memorabilia from The Wizard of Oz, such as a hat worn by Margaret Hamilton, who played the original Wicked Witch of the West.
Somewhere over the rainbow, if you follow the yellow brick road, there's a small town in Kansas that has brought the magic of the Wizard of Oz to life. With the recent release of the movie adaptation of the musical Wicked, those who visit Wamego can find themselves enriched in the city of Oz. I got a chance to visit the Oz-themed town and see how this magical story continues to inspire the businesses of Wamego.
It is helping keep Oz alive.
Just off of I-70 is the road to Oz, leading you all the way to the Wizard of Oz Museum in Wamego, Kansas. Opening its doors in 2003, the museum houses over 2,000 Oz artifacts from the 1900s to now. With the help of the recent movie release of Wicked, the museum doors are attracting new visitors this winter.
And it's really helpful to the Oz Museum because we're a nonprofit organization and we're helping keep a small town alive and thriving. And so having people come in and re-immerse themselves in the original fairy tale and explore other versions of Oz is wonderful for our community, wonderful for imaginations, and a fantastic family activity.
But this attraction isn't the only Oz-themed experience you will find, with a variety of businesses and displays across the town being inspired by the Wizard of Oz. And one of those is the beloved Oz Winery.
A lot of people come in here and go, well, I'm looking for a wine that's Oz-oriented. I'm like, you're in luck. Every single one of our wine labels has to do with Wizard of Oz.
The winery opened 4 years after the museum in hopes of adding to the city's Oz experience.
And people are always looking for something that's connecting them to Wizard of Oz. They come in here and they'll tell me these wonderful stories about growing up watching the Wizard of Oz late at night, with their folks.
In 2018, the town's very own Yellow Brick Road was built, which helps lead visitors to 18 different Toto displays in Wamego.
It offers another item for people to do when they're visiting. So if you have kids, you can do a scavenger hunt, visit all the different local businesses or the attractions like the Emerald City Playground.
And it's all these different themed businesses, Totos, and community engagement that all leads back to the Wizard of Oz Museum right here in Wamego, Kansas. And it's not leaving on a hot air balloon anytime soon. For KUJH News, I'm Sydney Clark. The city of Wamego sees over 40,000 people a year, and since the premiere of Wicked, the museum has seen over a 25% increase in visitors.
This past weekend, Lawrence celebrated its annual old-fashioned Christmas parade. KUJH's Kelly Rowe has more about this one-of-a-kind event.
The 31st annual Lawrence Old Fashioned Christmas Parade was celebrated in downtown Lawrence on December 7th. Thousands of guests gathered on Mass Street to see the Christmas season begin in Lawrence. Marty Kennedy, parade president, discusses his role on the parade planning committee.
Well, my role in the parade is I am president of the organization of our of our core committee, which consists of about 12 people. And we're the ones that kind of do all the planning and everything for it.
Kennedy goes on to mention how much easier the volunteer committee makes this parade.
Having done it for quite a few years, it seems to be very easy, and it just comes together very well because all of the people have volunteered for this work, and they just love this horse parade.
Parade Secretary Patty Kennedy told me about some of the unique traditions of the parade.
Santa is the last one, and he's followed by our vice president of the parade, Robin Dunn, and she has an authentic Wells Fargo stagecoach, and it's filled with toys. It's all the Santa's toys.
This year's parade was a complete success and the perfect way to begin the Christmas season here in Lawrence. For KUJH News, I'm Kelly Rowe.
Thanks, Kelly. It's nice to see that the parade was able to kickstart the holiday season.
The Lawrence Police Department has gotten a new furry friend on their force. Canines offer invaluable help sniffing out bombs, drugs, people, guns, and more. However, their newest addition helps in a different way.
A 5-year-old golden doodle, Rosie, has passed her Canine Good Citizen test and is officially a therapy dog. Rosie and her handler, Officer Lindsay Bishop, work at West Middle School. Bishop is a school resource officer there. Rosie also works with Lawrence Public Schools and the Lawrence Police Department.
In partnership with Loving Paws Animal Therapy Program, Rosie can help the Lawrence community. Founder and director Raven Rajoyni joined with the founding dog, Shakti, and a newer addition, Harold, shares how Rosie can impact the students at West Middle School.
It offers, the students that are in that facility just comfort and a safe place. I mean, again, where you or I may try to use our words to connect with a young person that's elevated, I mean, a dog doesn't have to say anything. Its mere presence is enough to just de-escalate situations, to create a softness, and I think that works kind of across the board.
She also shares the science behind pup love.
Studies show that, just seeing a dog, just literally having a dog in your presence can reduce our levels of, stress, anxiety, suppresses cortisol. Our brains release oxytocin when we interact with dogs.
If you want to find out more about Rosie's journey, you can follow along on LPD's Facebook page. And if you're in need of some puppy love, Loving Paws Animal Therapy Dogs will be back on campus next semester.
The Saratoga Club put up their holiday lights this week. KUJH's Lauren Ritchie gives us an in-depth look at how the complex looks.
The Sartoma Club of Lawrence and the Lawrence Board of Realtors Community Foundation are collaborating to bring a holiday light show to Lawrence and Douglas County.
You've heard the lyrics, making spirits bright, but what's really making spirits bright this season are the Lawrence lights. The holiday season is all about putting smiles on people's faces.
This lighted drive-through tour features synchronized lights and lighted displays filling people up with cheer. It's just the beginning for this tradition, and the best is still to come.
The first year was really successful, and then so we, each year we add more displays, and now we're in our 4th year, and the entire display is bigger and better.
More than just a light show, but a
fundraiser that we put on. The funds that we raise go to lots of different organizations in the community. I think the reward comes from when we're able to give the money out.
The Holiday Lights Tour has been open since November 30th and will go until December 27th every evening, starting at 5:30 p.m. and ending at 9:30 p.m. Step 1 of getting into the holiday
National champions deserve a clean campus. Don't wait for other Jayhawks to pick up your mess. Keep the University of Kansas clean.
Welcome back to KUJH Sports. Millie Favela here to provide one last weekly sports recap before the holiday break. We have quite a bit to cover, so buckle in. The Kansas volleyball team fell in a heartbreaking 5 sets to the Florida Gators in the second round of the NCAA tournament on home court on Saturday night. The Lady Jayhawks and Gators went back and forth, fighting for the lead for 2.5 hours. 6 Jayhawks, Caroline Bien, London Davis, Aya El Nadi, Toyosiana Bonjo, Bryn McGee, and Cameron Turner played the last games of their college careers and can rest assured knowing they are leaving the program in good hands. Here's what Florida's coach had to say about playing Kansas.
We haven't played a team, truly in my tenure, that plays as clean a level volleyball as Kansas. They give you no points. I look at the numbers and the fact that they only had 6 balls hit out of bounds in 140 swings. It just doesn't happen. They are such a good team. I just wish we could have played them later in the tournament.
It's safe to say that Kansas football has been shaken up this past week, so make sure to stay with me. Controversial offensive coordinator and assistant head coach Jeff Grimes announced his departure from KU after 1 year, taking up the same role at the University of Wisconsin. The Jayhawks' offensive line was particularly strong this season under new hire Daryl Agpulsa, but Grimes could have aided to that one with his O-line background.
You know, what I always tell our linemen is, you're the key to all this working. And most coordinators, most play callers, especially in the college game, most of those guys think of you as an afterthought. You know, just let me do my thing with all the skill guys and, you know, get the ball to our playmakers in space, and you guys just don't screw it up. And I look at it just the opposite.
Co-offensive coordinator and longtime quarterback coach Jim Zebrowski was promoted to offensive coordinator on Saturday. Zebrowski was the offensive play caller in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, where KU tallied over 600 total offensive yards to beat UNLV 49-36. Under Zebrowski's mentorship, quarterback Jason Bean grew into his role and threw for 6 touchdowns in the bowl game. Following Jalen Daniels' announcement to use his 6th year of eligibility, Zebrowski will have the chance to coach Daniels for one last season and continue to oversee the quarterbacks in his expanded role. On Sunday, defensive coordinator Brian Borland announced his retirement after 40 seasons. Co-defensive coordinator and cornerback coach D.K. McDonald served 1 year with KU and will step into Borland's shoes. McDonald spent 3 seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles, including the 2022 campaign when the Eagles advanced to Super Bowl 57. Yesterday, Leipold announced that Matt Lubick will rejoin the Jayhawks as the co-offensive coordinator and tight end coach. Lubick is a 30-year coaching veteran and previously served as a senior analyst for KU during the 2022 and 23 season. That's a lot of moving parts for one weekend, but the Jayhawks needed to make some changes for the next season. The end of the college football season is wrapping up, and all of the conference championships claim their victors. Looking into the Big 12, the Arizona State Sun Devils clinched the conference title after beating Iowa State 45-19. They now are the number 4 seed in the college football playoff. They will also play in the Peach Bowl against either Texas or Clemson. The SEC championship game was a close match, and the 5th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs beat the number 2-ranked Texas Longhorns 22-19 for the win. The game went into overtime, and injured quarterback Carson Beck handed the ball to Trevor Etienne, who ran into the end zone for the final score. The Bulldogs are now ranked 2nd in the college football playoff. The Big 12 championship win was a game many people didn't miss, as it was number 1 Oregon against number 3 Penn State. The game score was 45-37, and the Ducks are headed to the playoffs as the number 1 seed. The Ducks have had an undefeated season and will compete in the Rose Bowl, one of the most iconic college bowl games. The ACC also saw an extremely close match, with the Clemson Tigers defeating the SMU Mustangs 34-31. Clemson was ranked 18th going into the game and SMU 8th. The Mustangs were worried about their fate as a result of this loss, but they managed to get into the playoffs as the 11th seed. The teams with the automatic bids are the conference champions, including Oregon, Arizona State, Boise State, and Georgia. The other teams will face off starting December 20th, but we already know those 4 conference
College sports had a ton of changes in the past couple of years. KUJH's Caleb Kausich looks at the driving force behind all the moves.
I've got to be prepared for the what if. I've always felt that way. And I don't like surprises. So maintaining a pulse on what's happening in the marketplace and being able to capitalize on opportunities that might present themselves, I've got to be ready.
It's absolutely ridiculous what is happening at that level with that committee, and just go back and think about that. I guess whenever you're a year away and you just change your patch on your jersey, that it actually means something, that you're in a different conference and that conference is all powerful.
We all know that college sports are not slowing down anytime soon, so it'll be interesting to see how much more the conferences will change. That's all I have for you this week, but we will be back in January to keep you updated on all things sports. For KUJH Sports, I'm Millie Favela, and happy holidays to all those who celebrate.
It's the end of the semester and finals are on everyone's mind. We've got advice to help you succeed.
Welcome back. Finals week can be very stressful for many students. KUJH's Kelly Rowe has some helpful information to make your finals week a success.
Finals week can be a crazy and stressful time for many students, especially those taking final exams or completing final projects. Jenny McKee, the Associate Director of HERO, told me some tips that students can use to stay healthy during finals week.
So getting that sleep just like you would if it wasn't finals week is a good idea. Eating foods that are nutritionally dense is always a good idea. And moving your body in some way is a great way to relieve stress while also just giving you something different to do.
I went to Watson Library to get some student input on their finals week schedule and study suggestions.
I would say my finals week's pretty hard. I have 4 exams, Monday through Thursday. All cumulative, and it's pretty rough out here, but we're making it through.
I have an accounting final and a B-Law final that I'm not worried about, and then my finance final I'm worried about because I need like a 97 to get an A in the class, so I've got to start working hard on that one.
I would say start study guides early, but I didn't, so I'm struggling a little. But definitely start them early because then it's easier to learn.
I like to go to the library and just like surround myself with other people who are studying to motivate myself. And I usually rotate between what I'm studying for. So like I'll study for finance for an hour and then accounting for an hour and then B-Law, just so I don't get bored.
Let's help students end this finals week on a good chapter. For KUJH News, I'm Kelly Rowe.
Thanks, Kelly. We wish the best to all students preparing for their final exams.
And as the semester comes to an end, so does our time with our news team. For the past 15 weeks, this team has inspired each other and worked together to create the weekly newscast you get to view every single Thursday. From election night to covering Kansas athletics, this team can do it all.
Beginning of this semester, our very first show, it just ran so smoothly, which never happens with a first show. And it was really like that moment, I think, for everyone that was like, this is a great team. And it really kind of started that culture of success with this team that we have in 620 this semester, with everyone just loving each other and loving what we're doing and working hard.
Our time to bond, our show, and our friendships all stem from our 4-hour, sometimes more, lab days.
Those are just like a lot of fun. Like we yap with each other a lot and stuff, and like I think that's where we bond the most.
At times you can just like laugh and sit, and like I feel like that's kind of like my favorite memory. And then just show days are unbeatable too.
Of the 4-hour lab we have on Wednesdays where we just get to meet the crew and just hang out.
Labs weren't the only time where we spent many hours together. This semester, our team got to experience our very first presidential election night.
We had live coverage on every hour from 6 to about 10, and so the whole night was just us, you know, getting together, writing scripts, seeing what the latest stuff was, but also just hanging out in a very like tense, exciting environment. Everyone's like pumped up on adrenaline, and like, you know, we got food catered, and it was just such a great like team activity. And to see the product come together at the end of the night after we finished like 4 hours of coverage, and to just see the work that every individual person put in was like so fun, and it was with all my best friends, so it was great.
Seeing everyone involved and like all the buzz, everyone was all dressed up and cute, and I was able to get such good content. It was really fun.
I thought it was really cool how we could all team up and put together like 4 hours of content and a bunch of different live shots, and we put a lot of hard work into it. So
a lot of fun doing that. It was a really cool experience, like something I've never really done before, and I really just enjoyed being with everybody all night. It was really fun.
For it to go so smooth, like it was just icing on top of the cake.
With many hours in the newsroom, we've learned a thing or two.
It's okay to make mistakes because that's how you learn, especially in this field, and that's what KUJH is.
Try to push yourself to be your best by just looking for those opportunities to kind of get there.
As long as you're good at managing your own time, it's definitely worth it. You don't have a super set schedule like some of the like the reporters or some of the anchors do. So it's really great if you're good at your own time management, and especially if you like editorial work. It's a great position to be in.
There's an opportunity to say yes. I wouldn't have been able to learn a lot of the things that I did if I didn't say yes to the opportunity.
And because we all said yes to the opportunity of being on the KUJH team, we are here to say for the last time for KUJH News.
I'm Savannah Meyer.
I'm Sydney Clark.
I'm Emily Sutter.
I'm Brady Borgelli.
I'm Millie Favela.
I'm Michael Darcy.
I'm August Cooney.
I'm Francesca Nofrio.
I'm Maddie Andrzejewski.
I'm Cameron Rory.
I'm Carol Lyons.
I'm Daniel Stack.
I'm Rin Drummond.
And we are signing off.
Well, that's all we have for you this evening. Check out KUJH on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram for exclusive content, and keep up to date on the latest stories at KUJHnews.com. I'm Sydney Clark.
And I'm Savannah Meyer. Even though we are done for the semester, KUJH News will be back in January with a brand new team. Have a good day.